Recently in Lookism, we got Gun's flashback, providing everything we need to know about a certain monster or Oni from the past of Lookism. More reveals about Gaprion Kim, the god of the Lookism verse you could say, alongside various other things to talk about in today's video in regards to James Lee and some other monsters who are now prevalent in the story, alongside much more in regards to who the current strongest in Lookism is and who the strongest of all time may actually be. Sit back and I hope you enjoy. So the biggest reveal we've been waiting for is information about the battle between Gun's father and Gaprion Kim, or more specifically Gaprion Kim's first gang that he created to take down a great power, which is pretty much confirmed as the Yamazaki clan. Throughout Gun's flashback, we learn from his uncle that the Yamazaki syndicate lost to Gaprion Kim's fist gang, and because of this incident, that's why Gun's father, I guess, fell off after being defeated. The specifics of the battle wasn't really outlined throughout this flashback. We have other moments, for example, when talking to Gun, he says that he must repay the humiliation Gaprion Kim's fist gang put us through, pretty much saying that it was this original gang versus the entire Yamazaki clan, or maybe the higher ups, and the Yamazaki clan, including Gun's father, was defeated. Some have interpreted this as Gun's father versus all of them, but based on these panels, it's very clearly the entire clan, or a large amount of them, versus the fist gang where Gaprion Kim came out on top. However, we get some insight from Gaprion during this time as well, which is very important to go over. He claims that Shingen is sickening, especially his Ultra Instinct, and that the main difference is the following. Almost every time someone uses Ultra Instinct, it's easy to predict their movements if they don't control it. The main use of his Ultra Instinct was to actually suppress his own strength, so when he goes unconscious, he enters this new evolved-like state where he takes out everything in his path, and that's what we get to see at some points during the flashback, highlighting that this monster is truly something else, with confirmation that those born with the reverse eyes, the Ultra Instinct eyes, are on a completely different level when it comes to strength, and that's exactly why Gun is so overpowered throughout all Lookism. Like his father, he was born with this next level of power. Therefore, the state we saw Gun pull out in his fight against Gu is pretty much the Oni, what we saw his father do when fighting his brother throughout the flashback here, the next level of power that Gaprion Kim views as sickening, highlighting that he has insane respect for Shingen. However, based on what was revealed to us throughout the flashback, some could argue that based on feats which are beyond impressive, he could be number one in the verse of all time. However, based on the confirmation that he was defeated and how it was the fist gang, maybe not just these five, all of them versus Yamazaki clan, and the impact Gaprion specifically had on his clan, you could probably argue the god of the Lookism verse is probably still number one from the past. However, a lot of it is up to interpretation, no absolute confirmation, but feat wise, Gun's father is definitely up there and he wasn't disappointing by any means. Now when it comes to Gun, other important reveals we got recently is that he doesn't like men. I know, huge. How he met Elite or Charles Choi for the first time, which honestly just increased Gun stocks more and more. Definitely the alpha in all those situations, needing one with Ultra Instinct to enact his plan. There's various theories going around about how Charles Choi could be alive and all these other things that are about to be revealed in the Lookism story, so if you haven't caught up, make sure to do so right now. But the main purpose of the entire flashback came from Daniel Park asking Gun why he chose to be with someone like Charles Choi, which is beginning to be made clear, alongside revealing how much of a monster Gun was since birth, whether it be him at 5 years old and the training he got, him as a teenager being a one-man army already, and the whole situation with his father that we got to see in the flashback. This is why the arguments for Gun being the current strongest in the verse are honestly pretty valid all things considered, whether it be feats in the prior arc of him versus everyone, or now all the lore about him simply being built different. You could even say the overpowered nature of genetics is being made clear once again for the Lookism story. Outside of that, we have other important things to go over, but if you didn't know, the channel is officially partnered with Gamer Subs, therefore you guys can get a 10% discount on all the stuff when using my code on screen here, link at the top of the description. So Gabriel and Kim being the one to find Gun when he arrived in Japan was very interesting, alongside being the key reason that resulted in Gun being in prison, or putting Gun in there per se, which he quite enjoyed and may be interesting considering that's where Gun is currently located once again, meaning when he does officially return to the story, shit is definitely going to go crazy. But in this flashback, we learned something very important from Gabriel and Kim. He claims when talking to Gun that he came to Busan to meet his disciple, meaning the unknown king of Busan we have yet to see in the story officially is the disciple of Gabriel and Kim, someone trained by Gabriel before he was killed. That's going to be very important for the future of the story, so remember that. Another key player is about to make his rise in the Lookism story. Now outside of that, we have two other characters we really need to talk about. So James Lee in his current situation in the story. So thanks to his deal with Eugene, he is no longer the suspect for the murder of Gabriel and Kim, meaning he can freely move throughout the world and complete whatever his goals are in the story. He claims that he's thinking of retiring. This is likely talking about his K-pop arc, you could say, considering his new hairstyle. The black hair likely inspired by the two goats Gun and Daniel. But he also claims that it's time to get started in full gear now, meaning his training arc and the complete rise of James Lee is very likely about to occur, which now requires us to talk about another key player who is now in Japan, Gi-tae Kim, the one who may have killed Gabriel and Kim with the help of James Lee. Again, we don't know the official information about that, the 100% confirmation, just various theories and implications from the story itself. He's had his talk with Jake and isn't going to kill his other brother due to both sharing the hatred for Gabriel and Kim. His relationship with Gu needs to be explored. There's theories about Gu Kim also being another son of Gabriel. No confirmation yet, just theories throughout the fandom. But the King of Seoul is definitely the top dog that's going to be a main antagonist in the coming arcs or chapters. And I think it's very likely we're going to get everything revealed about Gu very shortly, considering the most recent chapter concluded with the first ever meeting between him and Gun alongside his major importance in the current Lookism story. So that's going to be pretty hype, still one of the fan favorite characters regardless of him being done dirty in his fight against Gun, which based on the reveals about Ultra Instinct and Gun himself, it does kind of make sense with this caliber of power, but his redemption and his rise is still occurring as well, with Gun probably not going to be a major player in the current story for quite some time. And with that, click on this playlist for all the other amazing Lookism content on the channel. Make sure you're subscribed, and shout out to these members, the absolute mad lads, who have access to all these other additional benefits. Check out the official Mysterious merch. That's it guys, peace.